I'm here with Brad Pickett. Thank you so much for giving us a little bit of your time today. Really appreciated it. So there's a few things I want to go through today, but first of all, should we just talk about Nathaniel Woods, just recent performance at UFC? Obviously you're his coach. What do you make of it? Talk us through a little bit.
Very professional, you know, he dominated that fight in every area, and then he finished the fight, which is good. Isn't the first round he was beating him up on the feet. Second round he took him down and beat him up on the floor. So at the end of that round, coming into the third round, I was saying to him, one, be careful of him because he's going to be desperate now. He's 2 rounds down. And I said, 2, wait for it and put him away, because that's what this job's all about. It's not just playing it safe and just getting his decision. It's like putting guys out, and now I think that's 7 straight finishes for him. So he
had him down a couple of times in the first round, didn't he?
Dropped him with a good straight right into a right hook.
Yeah, that was a really good performance. Obviously, kind of what overshadowed the whole event was what happened in Vegas, being moved from Vegas to LA. But even prior to that, you had a change of opponent, didn't you? Did that affect preparations much?
Not at all. I think Nathaniel has the same sort of approach that I did towards fighting, where it's like you prepare for a date, get ready for that date, and whoever's there's there. You know, like, don't get me wrong, your opponents change all the time. That's why if you get too fixated on one opponent and then it changes, you go, oh, what's going on? So you're always trying to make yourself better. Don't get me wrong, sometimes when you get an opponent, it makes you concentrate on different things. But still, if the opponent changes and now you're fighting someone else, doesn't matter. You prepared in all areas, right?
Yeah, I suppose it wasn't too much of a late change. It was about, I think Nathaniel was about 8 weeks out or 4 weeks out or something.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. 5 weeks out. Yeah.
In regards to the opponent that you guys faced, what were you planning for? Was anything particular in him that you saw that was particularly dangerous?
What, Andre Yule?
Yeah.
Just his range. He's a very rangy guy with a long 1-2. But we have really good guys within our gym that can, give him a good look. And yeah, I think, like I say, Nathaniel was better in all areas, which he showcased.
He looked really, really good. And I said to him yesterday, we did a little interview, and I said, you really look like you're enjoying it. After the first round, you felt like he had the beat in him, and he was kind of enjoying it. I'm not saying he didn't,
but sometimes that happens within a fight, isn't it? You're fighting, and sometimes you're like, oh, I got this guy's number, and then you can enjoy yourself and get a bit of ring time and like do what he did. But then like I said, he'd done the right thing, didn't take it too easy, and he finished the fight, which he had. I think when you dominate fight as much as he did, it would only look bad if he didn't finish him.
Because his previous fight, he took a little bit of damage, and this time he injury-free, and looked like he enjoyed it. Just in regards to the whole moving of location a week before, how did kind of that affect you guys? And
Well, it didn't affect me at all really, because I didn't travel out until after Christmas anyway. So I actually got a direct flight to LA, where I was going into Vegas, but I moved to LA. All they would have done is affected Nathaniel's friends and stuff like that as well, where there's some of them all booked their flights and hotels to think about that. I said to Nathaniel, because Nathaniel's one of those people, he worries about everyone else. And I
it's kind of natural though, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I just said to him, look, just worry about yourself. Everyone else is adults. You're here to do a job. Everyone else can sort their stuff out and change the flights, which everyone did. So everyone was there apart from one person, which is a good friend of him, Tom, who was actually proposing to his wife.
Oh, he said that yesterday.
Yeah, he was proposing to his girlfriend in the Grand Canyon and all that sort of stuff, so he couldn't change that. So that's the only person that actually missed out. Everyone else still made it.
Yeah. No, it's good, and obviously, hopefully, we'll hear some news about him soon, and it'd be nice to see him on the London card. But obviously, hopefully, we'll hear about that. Just how did you guys come together?
I was walking around. I used to live in Kingston, and I just remember going around a quick Kingston shop and one, so I just went, hey Brad, and I looked down, I couldn't see who it was, and then I looked down and I was like, Nathaniel, a little kid going, hey, and I just went, right mate, and then I just carried on with my day, and he carried on with his. But then I think he put something on Twitter. I just bumped into Brad Pickett in thing. And then I looked at him on his profile, saw that it was a fighter, and I was like, oh mate, cool. You feel fancy doing a bit of training? just reached out to him that way, and he was like, oh yeah, it'd be amazing, and all that sort of stuff. And then we had remember, he was training with a guy called Aaron Blackwell, was a guy I used to, I fought years ago anyway. I said, yeah, come along, do a bit of sparring sort of thing. Sparred with him and stuff. I saw the potential straight away, and I said to him, hey look, you need to start, upping your game and come to Team Titan in North London. Well, at the time I was an active fighter, so I was seeing him as a potential good sparring partner. Brought him up there, and then as you can say, the rest is history. He's just been with me ever since.
Yeah. Did you have him from when he was in Bama? Or was that?
Yeah.
So you kind of, and obviously the Cage Warriors. That's it, because you got in the belt, didn't you, as well?
Yeah, I was with him when he was in Bama and all that sort of stuff. But then I was still a fighter, and I kept on travelling away. So it's quite hard where I've been there all the time helping people out, as well as training myself. But then I'll go to America for 8 weeks at a time, and then come back and hey, what's going on, sort of thing. Where I actually retired is when he signed for Cage Warriors and made his Cage Warriors debut. So then I've been around all the time. So I think Nathaniel is really professional in everything he does, but he kind of sometimes just needs a little bit of reassurance. And I think with me being around a lot, he just, any question he wanted to ask, oh Brad, what about this? I'm like, this. So he asked me a lot of questions, even if he knew the answers himself. He just likes sometimes a bit of reassurance.
You guys live near each other as well?
Yeah, we live really near. Yeah. So for me, I think mentally that really helps him out, and like you say, he's been on an absolute tear since.
Yeah, absolutely. And how often do you guys go to North London?
We normally go to North London on Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays.
Is that sparring there, or?
Mondays is wrestling, MMA wrestling. I coach that. Yeah. The days I coach, so Nathaniel normally goes up there the days I coach. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about you now. How did you get into MMA initially?
Me, it wasn't even a sport when I started. My main first sort of combat sport I ever did was a bit of boxing. I boxed as an amateur. Yeah, again, I only done that to keep fit because football was my main thing growing up. I was a very athletic kid. I was good at most sports. Played like county level for everything, cricket, football, rugby, you name it, I played. Never really got into fighting. I took up boxing just to keep fit. Very proud person like I was. They said, do you want to have a fight? I was like, yeah, go on then. Then that was it. I boxed for a few years, 2 years when I was 19 to 21. Had a really bad knee injury. I had a ruptured my ACL. That stopped my football kind of thing, and then I didn't do nothing really. I just played. I used to play on quite a good level of football. I played at a lower level, just with my friends and stuff like that. And then I tried to take up boxing, found it a bit same old. And I was like, at that time I was like 25, 26, so no one really gave me much attention really. And then so I said, I want to try mixed martial arts. I'll give it a go. And then for me it was a breath of fresh air, just finding new things. And it summed me up. I was a jack of all trades, but a master of none. I wasn't a master of any of these things, but I found myself being really good and adaptive, and also I'm pretty tough, so that is really rewarded within that sport. You have to be tough and show resilience within our sport to have any sort of career.
So I suppose a question I want to ask is, how did you know that you could fight? And did you just start having scraps, or was it just one of the things where?
Oh, fight! I used to always be able to fight when I was younger because I was just tough and I'm very competitive. I learned how to fight when I was younger, so I didn't have to fight. It's like, in a weird way, it's like people really are quite cowardice and pick on their easy targets. So as soon as someone found out I boxed, they'd be like, I ain't messing with it, kind of. So I didn't have to fight. Reputation stopped me from fighting. For me, fighting's not a natural thing. It's like, I'm just very competitive. When I learned how to box, and I had that with rhythm, I used to use it for my advantage, where I used to be a bit of a vigilante and look after people who couldn't look after themselves, and like, hey, leave it. I used to split things up, leaving the guys alone, leaving them alone. So I used it in that way. So like, I wouldn't say I'm a naturally violent person. For me, fighting's. One thing I always said throughout my career, when I was fighting, I never fought because I hated what was in front of me. I fought because I loved what was behind me, like my friends, my family, my coaches. That's what I fought, The person in front of me was just an object, and I've always had a lot of admiration for anyone who does that sport for whatever level, because it's not easy to step in there in front of people and fight a guy who's been trained to fight you. It's very nerve-wracking. So anyone who steps in there and does that walk, I have a lot of like straight away. I'm like, well done, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you first had to talk about your first professional fight, how did that happen and how did that come about?
First professional fight, yeah, again, I've been training MMA 6 months. You know, just 6 months, and yeah, again, someone goes, oh, do you want to have a fight? And I'm like, yeah, whatever, you know, like, you know, I'll give it a go. And that was it. I remember it was on Portsmouth Pier.
Who was it against?
2000, a guy called Lee Curtis. And when I accepted the fight, it was supposed to be at 70 kilos, and that's what I walked around at. I used to weigh that then. Then I started training a lot, and I actually ended up being like 64 kilos, you know, and he was 72 kilos. You know, so he was a lot bigger.
Was he quite experienced as well?
He was more of a grappler. But for me, it was like, I think he looked at me and goes, "Oh, look at that small guy," and he wanted to try and stand with me, and then I knocked him out in like about 40 seconds. You know.
Yeah. So after the first fight, what was that like after you? What was your?
It was fun for me. It was a lot more It wasn't as nerve-wracking as it was boxing. When I used to do boxing, like I say, for me, fighting is not a natural thing. I used to get very nervous and very anxious before I fight. With MMA, I found it a bit different. I was like, oh, these guys are scared to fight me because I can box. I can hit hard. So I used to build my own confidence up by going, well, they're scared of me. They want to take me down and grapple me. And in my head, it was just like, we're scared of getting choked out. Who cares about that? I'm scared of getting knocked out. You know, so I always, in my head, even if there wasn't, I always used to build myself up again. They're scared to fight me, 100%. You know,
so one thing I suppose I want to ask you is your first loss. How did that make you?
Well, my first two fights in MMA were 40 seconds and 20 seconds. I knocked both guys out, and I just thought, this is easy. You know, like, I'm just gonna come in, they're gonna come in, knock them out, I'll go home. Then I fought this other guy. At the time, he was a lot more experienced than me, but he had lost, like, I think it was 7 and 14, so he had 21 fights, but he lost most of them. So I'm like, this guy's.
So in your head, you're thinking,
oh, this guy's just gonna I'm gonna knock him out and go home. And then I fought, and he took me down. I'm like, I managed to just, like, not knowing what I'm doing so much, but managed to get back to my feet being tough. You know, and then like, come on, man, let's fight. And he took me down again. Then he put me in a triangle choke. I lifted him up, slammed him down, got out of it. Just using just ridiculous amount of energy, just trying to, just being tough and like, come on, then let's fight. Then that was the end of the first round, and I started getting a bit tired now. It's a bit tiring, right? And then second round come on, I'm like, all right, let's go. Threw a punch, took me down again. I'm like, oh my god! And then that's what it was. And my resilience, where I wouldn't tap, and he got me in another triangle choke. He was trying to choke me out. I wouldn't tap. He started elbowing my face, and blood was just gushing out everywhere. The referee just stopped the fight, and even then I was like angry at the referee. Why did you stop it? And I remember headbutting the canvas in the mood. Of course, you should have stopped it. I was an absolute mess. But me, I was just like. Oh,
it's like pride, isn't it?
Yeah. So my pride got yeah, I'm like, oh, I'm fine. I'm not dead. You know,
yeah.
Why you stop it, kind of thing. It's a bit stupid, right? But I remember after that fight, I was just like looking at myself in the mirror, and I looked at Messi, and I'm like, I can't look like this again. I need to go learn the ground, and that's when I went away and started learning ground, and that was it. So I just knew, fed I knew I needed to get better.
Did you feel like you got taken down a peg? As in,
yes, 100%. Oh yeah. I thought I was the dog's bollocks, and it kind of.
So in a way,
humbled me.
It might be a good idea.
And for me, it was like you learn. I'm not saying it's good to lose, but you learn a lot more from your losses. When you win, you just I'm winning.
I said that.
I do that, but when you lose, you have to like reevaluate yourself. I'm not invincible. There are some things that I need to get better at. So yeah, I'm not saying it's good to lose, but you learn a lot from the loss.
And how long was it from having that loss to you fight next? Quite a period out.
It wasn't that long, no.
Oh really?
I was very active at the beginning of my career. I just fought all the time, you know. But what I did, I fought the guy that just beat him. You know, so the guy who beat me, I fought a guy who just beat him. So I'm like, okay, cool, this, and I beat that guy. So that's in my head. I'm like, rectified that loss by beating the guy who beat him. You know?
Yeah.
So.
How did you used to prepare for those fights? Did you bring your style into the fight, or did you prepare by looking at the fighter?
Throughout my career, I always just wanted to make myself a better fighter. So I always trained in every area I felt I was lacking. I didn't want you to fight me and go, okay, right, if I take this guy down, I'm going to beat him. I'm going to keep this guy on the feet, I'm going to beat him. I didn't want you to feel like you're comfortable in any area. You know? So I always tried to make myself better in every area and always improve. You know? So I never, like I said before, I always like look at opponents, see what they do. Sometimes it forces you to train in certain areas. But at the end of the day, if someone goes in there with, and you know they have like certain things and you worry about that too much, you let them do what they're good at doing rather than concentrating on your own game plan. If I'm going to go in there and do what I do and impose my will on the fight, let him worry about what I'm doing rather than worrying about what he's doing.
I suppose back then as well, less fights, even amateur fights, were on YouTube as well. So you didn't.
I had
really,
nothing. It kind of brought me back to the days of boxing as an amateur. You know, you just turned up and went, who am I fighting? That guy, all right. You know, and that was really nerve-wracking. Nowadays, even amateurs have so much footage of people hitting pads, and it's so easy now.
Instagram, social media.
Yeah, it's so much.
Kind of get an idea of.
See anyone, just see what he looks like. Oh, that guy looks like he's big, massive, and athletic, or he's soft. You know, you can see in a picture what the guy looks like. For me, back in the day, you just turn up in a sports hall and you go, suddenly you don't even know who you're fighting until you get out in a ring, and that for me was really nerve-wracking.
One person you fought, Demetrius Johnson, gone on to beat the UFC Legend.
Yeah.
And you beat him.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Just beat him. Yeah, man. For me, at that time, he wasn't.
I suppose he wasn't a big
no,
but
no, he was like 12-0, he's an unbeaten professional, and looked at him, he looked really good. But you know, whatever.
I suppose I should rephrase that as in looking back, being like like what he's achieved in that, and you looking back and saying, I hold a victory over one of the best UFC pound for pound fights.
It means nothing, you know. It means he's good together. But I mean, I wish I beat him 4 years ago, because then I would have got a lot more recognition. Because when I beat him, it was like, oh, I just beat a guy who he's unbeaten. You know, like I've fought him in my second fight in the WEC, and it was his debut in the WEC. Yeah, I was like, I can't remember. I was about 19-4, my record was, or something like that, and he was 12-0 or something like that. So he was two good, you know, prospects, and I beat him, and I'm not gonna, but I beat him very comfortably, you know. But he's gone on and done great things since. You know, like I say, sometimes you learn from your losses. I think this to me was a massive learning curve for him, that he knew he needed to change a lot in his camp, and he did. He's gone on to do great things.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about you signing for the UFC. So they bought out, I forgot the name of the organisation.
WEC.
Yeah.
No, they bought out.
They
bought out Strike Force, and also Pride. Right. But for me, when I started getting into fighting, obviously everyone's aspirations now is to go fight the UFC. It wasn't for me because it wasn't around. The UFC was around, but not my weight class. So like the smallest weight class in the UFC, which hardly had any fights anyway, was 155 pounds, which was lightweight. So for me to go, oh yeah, it was never even a case for me. So when I got to any sort of level of fighting where I was doing well and I was like ranked #1 in Europe and stuff like that, and my weight class, it was like, where's the biggest show for me? So it was either go over to Japan and fight in like Deep and stuff like that, or it's to fight in a show called the WEC, which is owned by the UFC, because Zuffa owned the UFC and the WEC. The UFC was 155 pounds and above, and the WEC was 155 pounds and below. So all the best fighters in the world went down, was fighting in the WEC. So even like most of the stars in the UFC now fought in the WEC. You look at Cowboy Cerrone, Ben Henderson, Aldo, Uriah Faber, Benavidez, Demetrius Johnson, all these guys, Showtime, Pettis, all those fought in the WEC, you know. So all the best guys are fighting down there at that weight class. So my goal was to sign for them. So I signed for them, and I was fighting the best guys in the world now. So that's what I wanted to do as a competitor. And then we because the WC every event we had was everyone was rave about it. You know, they great fights. So then Dana White goes, okay, well I want to bring those weight classes into the UFC, and that was it. So WC and the UFC merged. I fought the same people, so it didn't change me. It didn't change anything for me. I was fighting the same people I'd be fighting anyway. The only thing that changed was the name on the canvas and the name on my gloves. You know, so it benefited me in a way that I got more exposure, I guess, but it didn't change my competition at all.
Is there any particular fight that from your career that stands out above any?
Obviously, looking back, saying I fought Demetrius Johnson and beat him was always good. But one of the ones for me, I say, was knocking Yves Jabot out in Nottingham, you know, in England. You know, so being in the UFC, a nickname like One Punch, you have to live up to it every once in a while, and knocking him out with a really good uppercut. You know, coming off a win actually, but it was my UFC debut was against Hannah Burrell, and I lost that. And then I won against Demarcia Page in Sweden. So then coming back to England, I wanted to get a win, and then to win by knockout was awesome. So that was a good one for me.
You also fought Uriah Faber as well.
Yeah.
He's gone on to himself to open a gym himself. What was that like, fighting?
But for me, it's like he's someone. He was like a complete pioneer for the small weight class for a long time, and for me, it was when I offered it was quite late notice really, and I was like, you know, no one wanted to fight him. I was like, it was his retirement fight, so I was like, yeah, of course I've got to fight him. I'll be honoured to, and yeah, I did. So it's good. He's a great guy. I like him a lot. So I was glad that we got to duke it out. I wish it was a little bit earlier in my career maybe, but we still got to do it, so it's fine.
Yeah. Just finally on the UFC, your last fight obviously in the O2. Talk to me about like the emotions and all that being.
It was crazy because most people when they retire from the sport, they retire after a fight and go, okay, I'm done. Something. For me, I announced it before. I'm going to retire. This is my last fight, and I think people knowing that, I've got a lot of attention. It's like in a weird way. It's like, you know, when you say you died, bit dramatic, but say you died, and then everyone's sending you, oh, I miss this guy, this and that, and you get it, but you're dead. You can't hear it. So in a way, retiring my career, get loads of lovely messages from everyone like Dana White and all that sort of stuff. You know, like. So it was really nice. It was a very emotional week for me, you know.
So you always went on record and said you were like one of the favourite fighters to watch from Dana White.
Yeah. So like, I go on Dana White really well, but it's like just hearing it from everyone, all the fans, and like, and that's one of the reasons I thought it was for the fans. And you know, I love the fans' interactions, and I always wanted to put on a show, and so I fought for them. Without the fans, you won't have a sport. So I really, you know, owed a lot to them, and just to hear what they were saying and the send-off I got was memorable, very memorable.
Just picking this back up. After the fight ended, the emotions, was it sense of relief as in I finally done it, or was it, I know obviously the result didn't go your way,
but no, for me the result was kind of like, it didn't really matter the result really. You know, like it's the more the occasion, it was a whole emotional thing. The result didn't really matter. And same thing, I was beating that guy the whole time, whole fight, and I was caught in the last round. And even if I really want to be picky, I don't think the fight should have been stopped. I felt I took worse. For me, it got stopped premature, especially when I'm winning 14 minutes of a 15-minute fight. You know, don't let me go out limp. You know, it's my last fight. But can't cry over spilled milk. It's one of the past, but yeah, it was what it was, and but it was very emotional week for me, you know, like it was emotional, everything, it was emotional.
Took a lot of the media
There's a lot of loss, there was a lot of loss. My last training camp, my last time I did this, is the last time I've been to American top team, you know, I haven't been there since, so there's a lot of loss for me, you know, so it was, yeah, it was very emotional, and I'm an emotional person as well.
At what point do you, when you know you're kind of coming to the end of your career, at what point do you start thinking, right, life after fighting?
I wish I thought about it a lot sooner than I did, but I always had, you know, I mean, like as an athlete, you're not going to go on forever, you know. As much as your mind wants you to, your body does deteriorate, and like, yes, I can right now. I can fight the UFC and fight, and I bet you 100% I could beat certain people, but I'm nowhere near as good as I used to be. You know, but I'm still good. Don't get me wrong, but you start to slow down and stuff like that. You know, so yeah. Also, pride-wise, it's not as fun when you see yourself small, going down rankings. When all I was in fighting was competition-driven. I was always I didn't care about money. So people get motivated in different ways. My motivation was to be number one in the world. So I was trying to do that as much as I can. So when I started seeing myself moving down, it wasn't as fun for me.
Did you know that after you finished fighting that you wanted to become a coach and at some point get promoted?
Always, yeah. All throughout my whole career, I was always coaching and helping build it out. I used to go to American top team a lot, learn loads of stuff, come back and share my knowledge. Yeah. And I've always like helping people out and coaching them. So yeah, it's definitely a good natural progression for me. I think to be a good coach, you have to have a lot of emotional intelligence, which I believe I do. You know, I can really get to understand fighters, and yeah, again, I've been there, done that, got a t-shirt, so I can tell you from my experience, you know, like what you should and shouldn't do, you know. And if you do it, you do it. You know, like I always say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, you know.
So how many athletes do you actually coach now, professionally?
Loads. You know, at the moment I coach at a gym called Team Time in North London. We have lots of fighters, you know, so like, yeah, too many to Bellator fighters, UFC fighters, Cage Warriors fighters, you know.
So you keep yourself extremely busy. One thing I did want to move on to, obviously you started your own promotion, you want to do your own events. Do you want to tell us a little bit like that?
Yes, the same thing with me, is that I've been around a long time. I've been to a lot of good shows, I've been to a lot of bad shows, I've been to the best shows in the world, like UFC, so I think I have a really good take on how shows should be run, behind the scenes, not just in front of camera. And yeah, so I've been running a show called Rock, Rise of Champions, with my my coach up in North London, Mickey Pappas. And yeah, I mean, the show's been doing really well. I do all the matchmaking for my show, so I put on really good fights, and I deal with good gyms and stuff like that, so my show is very competitive fights.
How many shows have you had?
This our next show is on March 2nd, and it will be our 7th.
Whereabouts is it, just so people want to get
at the
tickets?
moment, it's in the Brentwood Leisure Centre in Essex. It's there, but we do have plans of moving it around the country and even abroad. But at the moment, that's where the home is. That's where we're locked down. Yeah.
Well, what I do is in the description and what have you, I'll make sure like where they can get tickets.
Yeah,
the website. Short that through. Have you got your lineup pretty much?
Pretty much. I'm always. It's the same thing. Matchmaking is changes all the time. You know, like even you see in the UFC, people get injured. So yeah, so it changes all the time. But at the moment, I'm on top of the card. But even like today, I'll get a few messages about someone's got hurt or this and that, and then I get messages, hey, I want to fight. And so I always get. It's continuous.
Well, hopefully we'll come down to that show as well, so that'll be good. Just outside of one thing I forgot to ask you was obviously your ring walk and it's quite a well known one because obviously like the Chaz and Dave aspect. How did you kind of come up with it?
Yeah, I knew it early on, to stand out in anything you need to be a bit different. You only get to fight, so you need to be a bit charismatic. I remember watching Prince Nazim Mohammed. I used to love his walkouts, and I found that very entertaining. So I know at the end of the day, it's a sport, but it's an entertainment business. You need to stand out and be a bit different. And you see people come out to gangster hip hop all the time and that sort of stuff, and I'm like, okay, cool. I love hip hop. I used to love hip hop back in the 90s playing basketball. So like, I love hip hop, but I'm not a gangster rapper. what relation to me coming out to shook ones from Mob Deep means anything to me. It doesn't. I'm from the East End. I'm from East London. Chaz and Dave are family friends of mine. You know, they played at my wedding and stuff like that.
See them live.
Yeah. So they played at my wedding.
And they were Spurs supporters as well.
And the Spurs fans. So for me, I'm from East London. That's what I do. I wear a trilby hat because my granddad used to be a bare knuckle boxer. He used to work during the day as a roofer, and at night time, just again, not because of the violent person, because they had a bit of extra money for the family. He used to do a bit of bare knuckle boxing, and I didn't know him too well because he died when I was 4. But I remember seeing pictures of him. He used to wear trilby hats and braces. So I'm like, I'm going to pay a tribute to him throughout my career, and that's where Chaz and Dave, East London, trilby, braces, hat. Yeah, boom.
Did the Americans get it?
Some did, some didn't. I used to read newspaper, come out to my fights as well. Yeah. Some people didn't have a clue, but for me, again, it was just to say, I'm an orderly person, I'm on to work. So in England, when you go on the metro, you get the paper, and you read the paper to work. For me, I'm just on my way to work, to a fight, reading newspaper. That's it. For me, it was just a job. You know, it wasn't like, I always said, I didn't fight because I hated the guy. It was just, if I could punch in on the way into the cage, I would. For me, it was just a job.
And just lastly on this side, favourite fighter to watch yourself?
Now or past, present?
Any.
Back in the day, I used to love Genki Sudo. He was a Japanese guy, such a flamboyant guy. You know, so everything from ring walkouts, his persona, to how he fighting. It was awesome. So Genki Sudo is my favourite fighter.
And I suppose present?
I like Conor. Yeah, again, because it's more than just a fight with him. You know, and that's really
it's an
entertainment business. So, same with Mayweather, you don't want to watch him win or lose, but you want to watch him. That's what Conor's like.
Okay, so aside from the promotion, what's next for you?
For me at the moment, a few things. I'm actually in the process of looking at opening my own gym in South London. That's what I thought. I travel an hour and a half every day to go to the gym. So 3 hours of my day traveling is not really time productive. So I want to open my own GBTT, Great British Top Team, near my house. I'm in the process of that now. But also why I'm still doing that, I always like to keep myself busy. I'm a very competitive person. I've got a grappling competition in February. February 2nd, I believe it is, on a show called Pantheon. I'm doing that against an old opponent I fought back in the day called Paul Reed. And then this guy would. After that, I'm actually doing on the 30th of March. To a lot for me thinking about doing this, but I'm going to do a bit of BKB. I don't know if you know what that is.
Bare knuckle boxing.
Yeah,
which has suddenly become.
It's got a lot bigger, and it's not bare knuckle boxing as much as it say is. You actually wear hand wraps. So it's very similar.
What you got on now.
Yes, it's like you're finding these. So it's very similar to an MMA glove.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm very intrigued about it.
Fighters have gone into it. I think Robin Deakin's gone into it.
Loads of ex-fighters. Yeah.
So it's becoming quite. I think last time out they even had it on TV. They got TV footage. I don't think it was live, but I think they had the highlights. Yeah. It's become.
Yeah, it's getting a lot bigger. And for me, is it again? I'm not stupid. I'm not young. I'm not going to fight.
Is it just something? Just one last thing to do?
It's just for me, honestly. Until my gym's up and running, it's just something to keep myself busy. You know, I'm a very busy person. I like to keep myself.
So you think
busy.
It's not just going to be a one-off fight? It might.
It may be, may not. All depends and see how I feel. You know, if I go out there and feel great, I'm like, oh cool. If I don't, I'm like, oh, okay, shit. Yeah. But also, I'm not stupid. The guy I'm fighting is 41. I'm 40. I'm in the same sort of boat. You know, yes, he was an ex-pro boxer as well, and he had Mark Callahan. So he used to ex-British champion boxer. You know, he's had over 50 pro fights as a boxer. But I think BKB is a bit different to normal boxing, even though he's very similar. But small gloves is a lot different. You know, And me, when I used to compete as an MMA fighter, I told you before, I boxed before I got into MMA fighting. I preferred the boxing side of the sport. I preferred that, and even now, training for this BKB thing, it's a lot easier on my body than having to grapple, wrestle, hitting pads, skipping, boxing, conditioning, doing a bit of sparring is a lot easier.
Well, obviously wish you well on that, and that's good to hear. And obviously we'll keep in touch with you. We'll come down to the show you promoting. Hopefully, also we'll see you around here as well. But before you go, is there anything else that I've missed, or anything else that you want to say?
Other things I'm doing, I've got open my own management company as well. So like, I got One Punch Management, where again, I'm not just coaching fighters. I'm also looking after fighters' careers as well now. So.
Oh, that's good. Do you have a particular website? Is there anyone? Yeah, if you should shout out the details of your management, so if any
so everything's like obviously Instagram and Twitter now. So on Twitter, it's, my handle is _punch in Twitter and also on Instagram. My management is One Punch Management. My show's Rise of Champions or The Rock Events. So that's
we'll make sure all these deals are so people can say, and obviously, make sure they're included. And
appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks so much for giving us some of your time.
No problem.
Does the dog want a little cameo?
Yes, this is my favourite dog. She's been with me for the last 4 years. She comes everywhere with me, every training session.
And when's her next fight?
She fights, get out of bed every morning, Cool,
nice one.